everyone, so welcome back to the channel. I always release these videos on a Monday, so if you're watching on a Monday, I hope your week has started well. If you're on a different day of the week, I hope you're having a productive and a good day. Today I wanted to do something slightly different for the video. I wanted to share my 2021 graduation experience as an academic member of staff. And as an academic, I love going to graduation ceremonies. For me, it's one of the highlights of the university calendar. It's just really joyful to see students who've worked hard secure their qualifications, celebrate with their friends and family, and it's just a very, very happy day. So normally, the graduands, now graduands is the title or the name that we give to a student who has been given their degree mark, if you like, but hasn't had the graduation ceremony yet, so hasn't had their degree conferred. So that's what a graduation ceremony does. It confers your degree, so basically it grants you your degree. And so the stage between you getting your marks and going to the graduate ceremony, you are a graduand. The graduands, so the students themselves, and their friends and their family weren't actually seated together. So there was a supporters marquee located on the main part of campus, and that's where all the friends and family were. They had a live stream of the entire ceremony, and it was really lovely because when I walked past in the afternoon, they were all still cheering and clapping as they were watching their students go up and get the degree for the particular ceremony that afternoon. And then the main graduands, they were seated in a marquee. So they were seated in a marquee outside the cathedral and they were socially distanced. And then as academics, we were actually started off in the marquee, we processed through the marquee, and then we ended up sitting in the main part of the cathedral. So I wear the university colours associated with the university that I was awarded my PhD at. And if you watch in this video, you can see me going past at some point. I think my hair tends to give me away as to which one I am. And usually we would be processing side by side. So usually we go in two academics, two academics, two academics. So you've got like a buddy to walk alongside. But this year, because of the pandemic situation, we did it in single file. We have something, called a marshal. So there's always like a ringleader at the head of the academic procession, and they essentially coordinate and help sure us academics all behave ourselves and find our right seats. And so actually the academic marshal for the ceremony you're looking at now was one of my colleagues from physics, a really lovely professor. So he made sure that we were all sat at the right place and ready for the ceremony to start. And the reason they had arranged us in this order was by putting us in the main part of the cathedral, they could keep us as academics separated. So all the academics, we all knew which seat number we were aiming for. All the seats were socially distanced from each other. And then they brought the graduands, so the students who were graduating, into the cathedral in small groups. Something else that was a bit different this year was there was no handshaking. So there was no kind of going up and then handshaking to get your degree certificate. Instead, students were asked to doff their cap at the academic member of staff who was kind of awarding them with their degree. And so a cap doff is literally you grab your cap and you just nod your head. Students did it in different styles. So some students kept walking as they doffed their cap. Some students stood still. Some did like a mini curtsy or a bob. It's quite an unusual thing to do if you've not had to do it before. And our graduands had to negotiate cathedral stairs, so they had to go up a few stairs, doff their cap once, then doff their cap at a second academic, and then come off the main stage. And all of this was being filmed, and it was being relayed back by live video feed, both to the graduands waiting outside in the marquee to come into the cathedral, and to their friends and family in the supporters tent. And then after the ceremony, so then as academics, we then process back out of the cathedral. Usually then it's like a free-for-all, we can chat with each other, we go down to a marquee, we have some food and drinks. But this year again, we had to maintain keeping distance and trying to limit kind of mixing of large groups. So we actually as academics formed an honour guard. So we made a line outside the cathedral and we basically cheered the graduates as they left the kind of graduation area and went down to the main fields on campus for their celebratory food and drink. And again, it was lovely. It was lovely to be able to see them in person. For the 2020 ceremony, I hadn't seen some of these students for 2 years. And it was just really nice to see them smiling and being happy, collecting their degree. For the 2021 ceremony, it was such a hot day. I think we were all melting underneath our graduation robes. Those graduation robes are like wearing a blanket. And when the UK is having a heat wave, putting a blanket over your shoulders is probably the last thing that you want to do. But it didn't matter. We were all just like celebrating and enjoying that moment. And then again, in a normal year, normally the academics, so the lecturers and the professors, we go down and we mingle in the main food and drink tent with all the graduated students and all of their friends and family. There's things like, you know, class of 2020 or 2021 balloons. There's an Instagram wall, so like flowers and roses and stuff. There's a chocolate fountain, which is always one of my highlights of the afternoon event. But unfortunately this year they had to change how they did it. So my university was still running the event, but only this time for graduating students and their friends and family. And it was all arranged by table service. So rather than mingling, people were kept in small groups. And then as academics, we were asked not to attend that part to allow numbers to stay, you know, as low as we could. And then at the end of the day, I gave back in my gown. Some people call them gowns, some people call them robes. It's basically my academic dress. And then I get a hood, which is the colours of my university where I graduated. And of course, I get my hat as well. I don't actually own any of that. It's quite expensive to own your own academic dress. But because I'm a member at my university arranged for me to have it on the days that I need to go to the graduation ceremony. And so I had to go give it back to the company that I'd loaned it from. So it's always sad saying goodbye to it for another year or another 6 months till the next graduation ceremony. But it was just such a fun experience. I'm so pleased that I went. It was so lovely to see my students graduating, and just lots of happy memories from that day. So I don't know whether your university is doing in-person graduations or whether they've opted to defer graduations or do virtual graduations. And if you have been to any form of ceremony, I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you've recently got your degree, many congratulations. It's a huge achievement. If you're a lecturer or a professor in the audience, huge congratulations, because, you know, teaching across the last academic year and a half has been pretty challenging. But yeah, leave me a comment. Were you part of an academic cohort that was graduating this year? Next week, we'll get back more to normal service, talking about, you know, the day-to-day life of being a lecturer. I'll get back onto the videos about actually joining university. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit what graduation was like for 2021. And also for me, so I can look back on these videos in a few years' time and go, gosh, yes, we did do things a little bit differently that year. So stay safe. Keep looking after yourselves. Thanks so much for watching these videos. To join our academic group here on YouTube, you know, hit the bell, hit like, comment, subscribe, all that brilliant YouTube stuff. And I will see you next Monday. Bye.